Good morning. If you want to see how we built this compound miter saw stand for our new saw with removable outfeed, built-in dust collection, storage drawers, and the whole business is sitting on 6-inch wheels, stay tuned because that's what we're going to do today. Good morning. Welcome to another Memphis Monday 223. Last week we stopped right in the middle of our project and went down to Lowe's and bought a brand new high dollar DeWalt sliding compound 12-inch miter saw. Problem is we don't have a proper stand to put it on. We got it kind of temporarily set up. Remember we set it up last week. Well, anyway, today we're going to get excited as soon as we drink our coffee and build that stand. So let's knock off that chit chat and get to work. This is our old miter saw stand. It's got sentimental value. I built this way before I made videos. I was in my gun stock stain mode. So I think I'm going to keep it, but our new stand's not going to look anything like this, hopefully. Here's our new saw. Got it kind of just set up on this toolbox bench here. It's a good deal wider than the other one. I couldn't just put it on the other stand. So had to come up with a new design. Here's the design I've kind of settled on. First thing to remember is it's designed to match the other shop furniture. It's going to have oak trim and maple plywood. It's going to have 4 large drawers on the right. It's going to have a big door on the left, and that'll be for the dust collection, which will be a shop vac. There'll be no fence on the outfeed. That's the latest trend in these things. And the outfeed is going to be stacked plywood and also solid wood flaring out on the sides. And it's going to have big wheels. To kind of get us started, I've already got the carcass finished, and the actual stand is going to be sitting on. And when I said big wheels, I really mean it. This bad boy sits up an inch and it's 6 1/4 inches off the floor. This is a double thickness of plywood. It's 1.5 inches. It's got a double thickness of plywood in the center here. That's 1.5 inches. I've got the runners here for the drawers. The plan is kind of finish this, the bottom part here, get that done, and then we'll take this off the bench and put the outfeed. We'll finish that on the floor. So I guess next thing is to do the drawers. Putting the boxes together, I made I got little dados all around the inside. I put the backs in, but I made the dados a little bit too narrow. So these things fit in real tight. So they fit, but real tight. So what I've got to do is I got to make sure, especially in these corners, that these slots, the dado slots, align perfectly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put this back in before I finish the box, which is an alternate way of doing this, by the way. Well, I got the drawers put together. Now we need to install the drawers. Let's talk about that. Now you can install the drawer pulls anywhere you want on this drawer. You can put them, you can put them on the bottom, the center, the top. You can even put them underneath here. But let me tell you why I put them in the center. Now, if all your drawers are the same size, what you do is measure your opening here that you're going to have to fill with, that you have to work with. In our case, 30 inches. So that means that I want a drawer pull every 7.5 inches up through here, and then that makes them evenly spaced. But the beauty of that is it puts our drawers, it puts the drawer side of the slider at the halfway point of the box. So to get the boxes exactly lined up, all I have to do is find the center of the box and draw a line, and then install my drawer pull, just like that, or my drawer slide. Then if I line this inner slide up with that line we just made, and then all you do is just put these little screws in. Now, with any luck, our drawer should fit in there. I went ahead and put the drawer fronts on. So we have our nice little drawers here. What we're going to work on now is putting a big flat panel door that will enclose our shop vac that's going to go in here. This is the style of door we're making right here. Flat panel doors. They're easy and they're appropriate for shops. They're the same style doors we have on our shop cabinets. Put these shop cabinets in, I don't know, it's been 10 years ago. I wish I hadn't painted them now. All we're going for is the same style that we use on all our other shop furniture. And here I'm making the frame for our door. Held together on the inside with pocket screws, and then a sheet of plywood. 3/16 inch plywood would be fit over and cover the gap. If you're holding them down 6 different ways, figure out another and do it 7 different ways, because That's really important. Another trick here is, see how I'm clamping this corner down to make that flush across there. Now, to that end, to the end of keeping these joints secure, Craig Tools offers a clamp for that very purpose. You clamp it down on there and that holds the joint together. But regular clamps work just as good. There's our frame. What I'm doing now is putting the back on it. Hope that's not too much glue. That's a good side right there. And then that's the B side. Just got to make sure the A side's the one that you want to show. And they got real tiny little staples in there. I think those are 1/2 inch. And just as I suspected, too much glue. Got some squeeze out here in the corner. Now I'm putting the hinges on the door. I'll go ahead and put these screws in, and then there's a takeaway I need to show you. The takeaway, you can see here how this outside portion of the hinge is sort of angled down. These are spring-loaded, self-closing hinges, and so they got some spring to them, and they want to have that angle. Well, that makes it very difficult to install them. But if you spring them back and make them level, and what I like to do is spring them back manually and then take a little scrap of paper or plastic or whatever I got available and stick right down in there, and that'll make it flat and make it easier to install. And what I'm doing here is wiping on some stain. I'm using it's called Classic Oak. It's some of that one-step stuff. I found you still have to, when you use that one-step stuff, you still have to put a couple more coats of poly on it, but it's a good start. Well, the cabinet part of it here is pretty well finished. Now we need to develop a plan to get this thing off the bench and onto the floor. Let's think about that. Well, unlike some of my harebrained schemes for getting things off the workbench, this one's almost sensible. But it may seem sensible, but I'm still going to film it just in case something funny happens. Piece of cake. I have it attached to the stand with light bolts. Here's a scheme I've come up with. I'm going to start off with a piece of oak that goes underneath the thing right there. Just goes in that notch. Then I'll laminate pieces of this birch plywood a little bit further out each time until I get it to where I want it. And it'll be 3 pieces of birch plywood and 1 of this maple 1/2 inch. The theory is that I can install these things in such a way that they slide out, and so they're removable, and then they slide back in the slot. Pretty neat, huh? All right, I'll go ahead and start laminating these things together. Well, I glued the outfeed sides, glued them up overnight. Let's take the clamps off and see if this scheme halfway works. Well, these are less than ideal outfeeds, but what I like about them is they are portable. I can completely take them off. Oh, I got them all smoothed out here. It's pretty slick. Well, we got our case finished and our outfeed finished. Now we need to install some dust collection. We're going to use that shop vac right there. Got that hole pretty well centered. Miracles of miracles. And then this hose here will fit right in there. Now I'm putting a second hole in here. This will be for the cord that comes out of the shop vac. I don't need it this big, except I need some kind of a pressure release because this shop vac's going to be exhausting into that space. So it needs to have some place for the air to come or it'll blow the door open. Now here we go. I'm going to plug in that shop vac, and when it starts up, we'll see if that door blows open. If it blows open, I'll put some kind of latch on it. Here we go. I'm just going to run the power through one of these power strips. That's what I've done on several things. It seems to work. What I'm doing here is just putting a couple screws in the top so it won't slide off the mounting screws. Well, there we have it for Memphis Monday 223, our new stand for our DeWalt sliding miter saw. It's got a lot of nice features. The outfeeds are removable. It's got built-in dust collection. Got 4 real nice 100% pull-out drawers. The whole thing is on some 6.5-inch wheels that are rated for about half a ton a piece. You can service our shop vac like that. So we got her done. Well, that does it for another Memphis Monday 223. Today we built a sliding compound miter saw stand. It's got 4 drawers for storage. The whole case is made out of birch plywood with oak trim, oak drawers and door over there. A interesting feature is removable outfeeds on both sides. We have built-in dust collection, 6-inch wheels to push the thing around with, and I've actually taken one of the outfeeds out right now just so it'll fit in here. So pretty fun project, and we needed to build it. Another shop improvement program. So I'll knock off the chatter right now, and that's all I got. No, one more thing. Make sure you're back here next week for another exciting Memphis Monday. Thanks for playing along.